Hey y'all, welcome to Pussy and Pilates, a virtual community and digital safe space centered around health, wellness, and mindfulness. I am Bridget of Slam Dunk and Wellness. My pronouns are she, they, and I'm excited to have you here. In each episode, I'll share helpful tips on how to reclaim your pussy's pleasure, one breath at a time, and of course, doing some Pilates. Let's set the scene. It's 9:30 p.m. It's dark outside thanks to daylight savings time. It's ambient lighting, incense is burning. There's a really beautiful jazz playlist playing in the background. You have a journal. You have a book that you want to read. And you're just chilling in your bed, cozy in your sheets. This is one of my favorite things to do before I go to sleep. Today's episode is titled Blanket Statements because we're going to be discussing the blanket statements we make and or subscribe to when talking about rest and recovery. It's also getting much colder in my part of the world, so blankets are becoming a thing again. What is a blanket statement? It's a broad, sweeping statement that someone holds as truth without any actual evidence. Now, as a certified Pilates instructor and stretch therapist, here are some of the blanket statements that I've heard surrounding rest and recovery.
I don't want to be lazy. I don't need that much rest. I didn't even do that much today. I should be able to do this exercise, job, or project without stopping.
These are the blanket statements that lead us to not getting the rest we deserve and need. We either are denying ourselves rest, avoiding rest entirely, or shaming ourselves when we finally do rest. Now, if you're on Instagram or the social medias, you definitely have probably heard of Trisha Hersey of the Nap Ministry. She wrote a book called Rest is Resistance and Manifesto. And here's the quote that I've been meditating on recently.
What we have internalized as productivity has been informed by a capitalist, ableist, patriarchal system. Our drive and obsession to be always in a state of productivity leads us to the path of exhaustion, guilt, and shame. We falsely believe we are not doing enough and that we must always be guiding our lives towards more labor. The distinction that must be repeated as many times as necessary is this. We are not resting to be productive. We are resting simply because it is our divine right to do so.
Indulging in rest has been one of the newest things that I've really started to develop. And it's only taken me, 34 years on this God green earth to do this. It's just wild. I've never really been someone to just nap. I would wake up at 7 a.m. and go to sleep whenever I went to sleep in the evening. But I wouldn't take naps during the day. And when you think about it, that the fact that you feel shame for not taking a nap, that is a capitalistic tactic. That is something they do within brainwashing or how they break people down. They keep you up for hours on end. They keep you distracted. They keep you not honing in on your own things. And I've been finding rest to be so indulgent and taking naps and just doing things that are healthy for me. And one of my 2024 goals is to not let social media bother the hell out of me. And I've just been resting off that. I've been backing off that. I haven't been on social media. I've been just focused on what I need for myself, which is reading. I've been getting my sleep has been better in the evenings, when I go to sleep in the evening, not just my naps during the day, but reading, knitting. It's using my brain in a different manner that I'm able to sleep through the night. I am someone that will wake up every 3 hours if I'm not tired enough in my body. And I've realized how much I just let pain sit in my body and uncomfortable feelings and anxiety and depression. And I just let it sit there and it manifests in so many different ways. And now when I'm learning about rest and being restorative and starting restorative habits, I should stretch more. You would think me being a certified stretch therapist and a Pilates instructor that I would stretch out on a consistent basis. Actually, no. I'm finally developing those consistent habits. Yeah, I can do it after a class or before a class or before a client and stuff like that. But no, creating my own self-practice and routine but more so just consistency all around. Just developing those things for myself and really engaging in those in a mindful way. Right now, the biggest thing I've been feeling in my body is rest. I've been feeling my mind just settle. I feel embodied finally. I feel like I can truly trust my decisions because I don't have as much background noise. I don't have all the intrusive thoughts. I struggle with those heavily. I'm not struggling with the intrusive thoughts like, oh, you should have this, you should do that, this person didn't do this, da da da. That doesn't fucking matter because you don't exist in my universe. You're just background noise, and really be able to tackle that. And now, like, I'm dreaming again, and they've been a little wild, but wow, the fact that I haven't dreamed in a long time. It would just be black to go to sleep and wake up. But now I'm dreaming again. I'm trusting my intuition again. Like, rest is such a powerful thing. And when I think about like watching my parents, my dad would work 24/7. My mom working all the time. My brother had his first job at 14. And when I talk to my other friends and stuff like that, they're like, I didn't get a job until out of college or they got like a work study or something in college. I've been working since I was 15, 16. And it's like, wow, to hear that. And I realized no wonder you're so burnt out about working and stuff. You've been working a long ass time. You kind of always held down a job. I think the one time I didn't have a job outside of like work study and stuff like that was like a year or two in college. I've always had a damn job. So it's like, think about all the rest that you haven't gotten, and that's giving me more reasons to rest. It's like, you have the time, just take it. Nothing's going to hurt me. I'm not missing out on nothing. The same shit gonna be in the streets today, gonna be in the same streets tomorrow, next year, because obviously gonna be the same shit every other day. You ain't missing nothing. What I do care more about is, did I catch the sun? Did I get to sit and bask in it? Did I get to hug my kitties? Did I get to make myself a nice meal and actually eat it and not scarf it down because I'm running in between meetings? It's the restorative practices, the restorative habits that are so important, especially as it gets colder. You tend to want to just not do anything. Hey, just fall into that. I'm very much a seasonal person. So when it's cold in my part of the world, I love a good hibernation. I don't like leaving the house anyway. So I'm very much an introvert. If you've ever met me, you may think I'm an extrovert, but I'm actually extremely a staunch introvert. Like, I stay the fuck inside. And I like to stay inside. I like to stay in comfy clothes. I like to stay in my bed. I like to sit on my couch. I do not like leaving my house, actually. So if it's for a reason to leave my house, it needs to be for a good reason. So it's just, wow. I'm just learning within myself how powerful rest is. And I'm kind of thankful that it's been taking this many times to make this episode because I've learned so much. I've learned that rest is important and rest is something you need to do. So if you ain't set your ass down and took a nap, take a motherfucking nap. I've been taking 20-minute naps every day or every other day, or an hour nap or 30-minute naps. And it's just been so good. Oh my gosh. I'm here for it. But anywho, let's talk about the literal blankets and the things we need to engage in sustainable and healthy rest and recovery habits. First, let's talk about melatonin. We all know what melatonin is. We give it to our cats, our dogs, our fish, our children, and ourselves. But what is melatonin? It comes in pill forms, gummies, juice drinks, and medicinal syrups. You can find it in any place, in any store. Scientists discovered melatonin in 1958, and it's a natural compound synthesized in the pineal gland during the nighttime. In humans, circulating melatonin is lowest during the day. So we all know circadian rhythms. Our body rolls through a 24-hour cycle. In the morning, we usually are very high stress and we have low melatonin. And in the evening, we should be low stress with a higher version of melatonin. Now, in our bodies, we all can synthesize melatonin. So we actually really don't need it. Now, the issues and the reasons surrounding why we may need melatonin is light pollution, noise pollution. We don't have complete and utter darkness. So here are some ways we can engage in some nighttime routines and do some things that can help us feel rested and feel a little bit more recovered in the morning. Number one, journaling. I love a good journal session. As I said before, when I was setting my scene, I love journaling. Getting under a comfy blanket, sometimes even a weighted blanket. But getting under a blanket and journaling my thoughts from the day are really easy. My favorite prompt is just, how am I feeling? And usually that leads to about 3-4 pages of just scribble scrabble, and here we are. 2, I try to put my phone on the other side of the room. I try to also sometimes let my phone die, but it doesn't work like that sometimes. Disconnecting from your phone can be one of the most impactful things for your sleep. Studies have shown that you should get off your phone. Number 1, we all know the whole blue light thing, but they say 2 hours before you fall asleep. That will help with decreasing the anxiety that comes from using our cell phones. We have to accept that. Yes, we get anxiety from using our cell phones. Now, 3, meditating. I love a good meditation session. We're going to focus on that a little bit later. I'll do a guided meditation for you all. But meditating, it's a beautiful thing to engage in, even if it's just for 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes to an hour. But calming the brain down and quieting those thoughts will help your brain be a lot stronger, will help your brain also help to deal with stress in high stress situations. And then 4, reading. Reading is a workout for your brain. It helps your brain calm down. It helps your brain actually start to focus on other things other than if you had a stressful day, other than if you're having just issues in your life and things like that. Here's one thing I really say. Don't read on your phone. Again, don't read on your phone. And last time, do not read things on your phone. Get a book. Read. Now, here's one big thing that I really always want to say and really always want to say as a certified Pilates instructor, stress therapist, and a former personal trainer. Fuck that 5 a.m. wake up call. I don't give a fuck. Don't do it. Just don't fucking do it. The 5 a.m. wake up call has not been proven to help anything, because if you didn't get sleep, or if you fell asleep at 12 a.m. and you got to wake up for a 5 a.m. workout class, you're still unrested. You are still not going to get the benefits of that workout. You're still going to be even higher in stress. Actually, you boost your cortisol levels when you're not rested. So fuck the 5 a.m. wake up call, and get your ass some sleep. So if you can just don't have to be into work until at 7, miss the wake up call. We don't need it. It doesn't really add benefits to your life, you know? Lastly, we all know it's getting cold up here in the Northeast, and you know you like the heat running in the evening. But one of the things also about getting into rest and recovery and getting a better quality sense of sleep is dropping the temperature in your house. Cut the heat off. Or you can drop it down to between 69 and 72 is what they say is the most ambient for your body to go to sleep. And I've read places in Chinese medicine, a lot of the reasons why we have high anxiety, high cortisol levels, and high stress is because we have too much heat in the body. So think about it. You're sitting in a hot ass house all day, or a hot ass studio, hot ass office, and your body's just always hot. You're not going to be able to get good enough sleep. So drop the temp, because I like to keep my house like Dracula's cave. I am cold as hell, and I love it. But if you want to get some optimal night's sleep, you can try that. But if you like sleeping warm, I get it. I understand it. Do what you do. One thing I realized is if you don't have good sheets, you'll sweat, you'll feel uncomfortable. And as I stated earlier, that builds cortisol levels, builds anxiety, and increases more stress. I hope we all have sheets on our bed, you know? I hope we do. I like to use high thread count sheets. You don't have to go super, super high. You can get your 100 count. You can get your 300 count, 500 count. I want money and coin for 1,000 count. But hey, I'm not there yet. I got about 500 count sheets. But I love a good high thread count. Why? Because I love breathable fabrics. Cotton is my favorite. Breathable fabrics. That is what helps if you are a sweater in your fucking sleep. Now, whenever you're listening to this, morning, noon, or night, I would say try to play this end of the podcast at night. The one thing I've really been developing is meditating before sleep. Meditating. It's free. You ain't got to buy nothing. It's free. Sit there and let your brain calm down. You may have a lot of thoughts pop up. You may have a lot of feelings pop up. But when you realize you have to process those things. I like to think about your brain. You know, you download too much stuff to your computer and it starts breathing heavy, like the CPU just like, you know, that's really your brain with all those thoughts. You gotta clear those thoughts out. Sometimes you just need peace and quiet. Turn off the music, cut the Netflix off, nothing. You sometimes just sitting in quietness. Silence can be extremely healing. In today's society and all the bullshit that's going on in Gaza, Congo, Sudan, Haiti, like so many things, find your rest. Because we're going to have to come up and fight. But you got to find your rest. It's so important. Find your rest. Here's a de-stressing guided meditation. I'm going to start off with a quote by Cleo Wade. No matter how much work we do on ourselves, stress and anxiety will still show up. Our work is to not avoid them. We may not be able to control their arrival, but we always have the power to release them. So today we're focusing on releasing that stress before we go to sleep. All right, I want you to lay down, get yourself into a comfortable position, whether you're seated up or standing or lying down. Just be comfortable. Soften your gaze. You can close your eyes or keep your eyes partially open. All right. You're going to take a nice big inhale and then a big exhale. Feel the tension decreasing and releasing from your body. Inhale. Big exhale. Starting from your toes, releasing from your feet. Inhale. Big exhale. Release that tension from your calves. Inhale. Big exhale. Releasing that tension from your hips and thighs. Inhale. Big exhale. Releasing that tension that can be developed in our tummies. Keep that soft belly. Inhale. Big exhale. Dropping those shoulders to your feet. Inhale. Big exhale. Releasing that tension at the back of your neck and your jaw. Inhale. Big exhale. Releasing the stress and anxiety through our fingertips. You're going to give me 4 more big breaths. Inhale. Big exhale. You release all stress and anxiety. Inhale. Big exhale. You release all stress and anxiety. 2 more. Inhale. Big exhale. Release all stress and anxiety. Inhale. Big exhale. We release all stress and anxiety because we may not be able to control their arrival, but we always have the power to release them. I would love to keep in touch. Follow me on Instagram at Pussy and Pilates, PXSSY, and Pilates, PILATES. Find me at my personal page at Slam Dunkin' Wellness. And if you have a Pussy and Pilates related episode that you want to hear or have me a topic that you would like for me to talk about, send any emails to info@slamdunkinwellness.com. I'm excited to have you here. I'm excited to see this grow. Pussy and Pilates is all about reclaiming your pleasure, one breath at a time, because you deserve to feel strong, sexy, and free. Bye, y'all.